Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. Channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive into individual companies, individual stocks, and give my opinions on those. You can use the word LEAP for leap year, LEAP, in the discount code if you'd like a discount. Let's dive through here. Let's see what's going on with the markets today, and I'll give you my financial opinions. So we've got the DXY here, which it still looks good to go higher, guys. This doesn't look like it's just ripping. And the reason I say that is because today you can see we've got that wick at the bottom. If this closed really strong, I would have a different opinion. I'd say we've got some momentum. It's going to continue. But we bounced, and it's like bouncing generally means that we're not done. Um, like we're not starting a big move to the down, pressure coming down. We come up underneath, retest, and head lower. But we're hanging on. It's got support. We'll see if that support holds. Yields still look like they want to go up too. So that's another reason why I think the dollar may be a little bit more resilient than what most people think. So the 2 year, yep, it's still looking good. It's still squeezing up. Far as I can tell, this momentum and everything still looks good to go to the upside. Call it a flag pattern, call it a pennant formation, call it whatever you want. It still looks bullish to me. 10-year still looks bullish. Not much selling pressure. Up here, we've got the support underneath us, which is this support line going across. So everything still looks good to try to work its way on up with time. And the 30 years the same way. We're still above support, not much selling pressure. Everything still looks good to work its way up over time. TYX TNX ratio, we were up a little bit today, which is going to be good for gold. We had a little bit lower yields today, and we had this coming up a little bit, so gold might go up a little bit. But I'll be honest, guys, this is a pretty confusing chart. We're very much inverted, which is a good thing because when you uninvert, gold generally takes off. Problem is, we're not really uninverting. We've stayed inverted all the way since about March of 2022 in this box here. We had a little bit of a move higher there when they told us this is what they said. The Federal Reserve came out, and well, maybe that's the way that people are interpreting it, the markets, but they basically said they were going to potentially lower rates. This thing really starts to take off to the upside. And then the markets started to basically not believe what Powell or the interpretation of what Powell said that time out. And we've been continuing to invert the curve. So yields have been going up, dollar's been getting stronger, and we've been inverting the curve. And it still looks like to me that we want to continue to invert further. We haven't had a good bounce to work our way up. So our breakout was there. Big selling pressure, and that's really what is getting me thinking that this is going to continue lower. Bond prices are holding on where they're at, right at support. So not too much to see there. And the 2 and 10-year, it uninverted a little bit, but it's still inverted, guys. This is all inverted up here, and I think this is the longest it's been inverted for I think forever since history. So gold was up a little bit. We're up 11.9, but again, guys, this doesn't look to me like we want to go higher. To me, this looks like a peak. The top is there with that wick. We sold off hard. Not much green candlesticks coming in here. We sold off hard again. There's no big green candlesticks in this mix here where I'm looking at it like, man, this thing's ready to take off. I don't get that impression. I get this impression that we're going to drift sideways or potentially drift a little bit lower, much like we've been doing like this, like something like that. I just don't see the big firepower or the setup here looks like it's topish. It doesn't look like it is setting itself up for a bullish move where you've got higher lows and whatnot. I mean, just doesn't look like it wants to rip here. Silver, a little bit of selling pressure today, but at least we got some big buying pressure the past few trading sessions before today. So this still has a chance. It still looks all right. Platinum down a little bit, still hanging in there. Looks good. We're above support. I mean, it's cheap. And palladium's up about 28 bucks, almost 3% today. That looks all right. That looks pretty good. This looks like it's trying to put in a bottom. Short covering here, short covering there. That's that big green army I'm looking for. Basically, it's short covering is what it is. Then we start to work our way on up eventually. XAU to gold ratio slightly lower. We're down 0.5%. And this thing is low, guys, but we haven't really broken anything to the upside. It looks like we're trying to find our support here, and hopefully it finds it where we can gather our feet and work our way on up. But I just don't think that's going to happen with interest rates going up and a stronger dollar. It's the wrong market condition. The CRB index down a little bit. Oil was down a little bit. It still looks good. We've broken to the upside. If rates continue to go up, I think this will go up. But it looks like we are consolidating at the current time. CRB to S&P 500. We were slightly lower, but we've just been moving sideways here for the most part. And this is what it looks like zoomed out. Big move up, and we've been consolidating sideways to slightly lower. So GDX up a little bit on the daily here. It doesn't look like it's ready to rip. I just don't see any reversal candlesticks. I don't see anything like here's a reversal candlestick there. There's just nothing down here. It looks like it's just continuing to go lower. GDXJ, it's the same thing. It looks like it wants to go lower. It's squeezing up and wants to head a little bit lower there. And SILJ as well, doesn't look like it's bottoming. It looks like we still have some weakness left. Crude oil down 1.63%. This doesn't look all that bad, though. We're at resistance. As expected, we sold off a little bit, but we got to look at the lows here, and the lows continue to come up into this resistance line. If we can punch through this, I think we're gonna go on up, and I think we could go to maybe 120 or something. Like maybe maybe this is a peak. Maybe we'll peak out again, and I'm looking ahead. Maybe we peak out again here. Interest rates go up, and then we turn back down, and this is where we get a pullback in the markets. Maybe not that far out in the future. It's probably going to be quicker than that, but maybe we'll see. TTF gas down 5%. We have really warm weather here, guys. This is not helping. This is not helping at all for natural gas. So we're heading a little bit lower there. Nat gas in America down 1.4%. It will bottom at some point. I mean, guys, it's 60 something degrees in Colorado here. I mean, and we're looking at pretty warm temperatures as far as I can see in the forecast for the next 10 days. So yeah, we're going to be. There's just no demand for natural gas here in terms of weather. XOP, yeah, you know me. This still looks good. It doesn't look bad. So we've got the big head shoulder. We talk about that forever. And we've got a little bit of selling pressure today, down about 1.5%, and it still looks good. We've broken the downtrend line. Usually you get a pullback, then you try to move on higher. And everything still looks okay. And that also coincides with stronger interest rates. OIH is also hanging in there. Looks really good to try to break to the upside here and break this downtrend. So I think we look good for oil. It looks really good. We've got two little small candlesticks. Everything's intact. It's right at resistance. We'll see if we can punch through. What I'll say. Now moving on to the uranium sector, we've got some pretty strong selling pressure here. And we punch through basically our support. And it's a pretty strong down move. So I'm going to say, the momentum's to the downside until we turn this thing around, guys. It is definitely to the downside. So a little bit of selling pressure still, and we'll see how this thing plays out. But to me, it looks like we could continue lower. URA also getting that selling pressure today, and it still looks like we could continue lower. I do not see support at this time. URANIM kind of busting through that support zone there, and it is heading lower. And it looks like it could continue to go lower. The momentum's to the downside, and URNJ cutting through that support zone, and we'll see if we can hold here. But momentum is to the downside, and that's what I have to go with is we could go lower. And I know some people said, oh, we filled the gap. Well, that's great, but you want to fill the gap with small little candlestick days. That's what I like seeing. And then we basically put in a bullish engulfing here. I'm not saying it can't do that, but momentum, I mean, this is a pretty strong day today. So momentum's to the downside, and hopefully that support can hold. Tan down 2.24%. We've just been bouncing sideways here, looking like it's trying to do something. Copper up against resistance now, and we'll see if we can punch through. We've got some monster deficits coming in copper out in the future. COPX slightly lower, but it doesn't look that bad. We're hanging in there. Lithium down 3.26%, even though rates were down and the dollar was down. Same with REMX, down about 4%. Is this a continuation pattern lower? I don't know. We'll find out. We've got the S&P 500. It was down also. Not a huge candlestick, but is this rolling over, and are we going to get more selling pressure if rates continue to increase? We'll find out. And then NASDAQ also selling off right at support. And again, we'll see. This is a bearish engulfing here, so that generally works its way lower. We'll see how it trades over the next week or two. ARE moving sideways, still looks okay. Hanging in there. We've got emerging markets slightly higher. Not really a strong day. It's just a kind of a weak up move, 0.15% with momentum coming back down throughout the day. XHB moving sideways, it's holding on. We've got MU down a little bit, but again, it's just moving sideways. 69 is that spot we're squeezing up on, which is the support zone, the beginning of the support zone. Iron ore continues to move lower. This does look like it wants to move a little bit lower. It's stair-stepping lower, and we could see more downside in iron ore in the short term. Aluminum bouncing up today, right at against support. It's getting that support. Got Baltic Dry Index. That is also moving sideways. There we are. It's up 1.18%. Not a convincing move, though, I'll be honest. This still has quite a bit of momentum down, so this could bust to the downside. We're not getting a strong bounce here at the moment. Newcastle Coal Futures up 1.24%. It looks like it's trying to bottom here. And I would be looking for natural gas to strengthen because coal and natural gas do trade similarly. We've got BTC slightly higher today. Just moving sideways. It still looks good to go higher. No reversal candlestick yet. Then Ethereum also working its way on up. Still looking pretty good in the short term there. And then SMCI, this is our super microcomputer. Big reversal candlestick there. We've got a small reversal candlestick that just came in today. I bet you we're going to go up or sideways, and then we're going to roll over and get hit again. That is my guess. And I'm just looking at this because it's so popular. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. We have a Sunday, 5 p.m. Mountain Time question and answer session this coming weekend. So if you want to attend, we can go over what you would like. I'll see what you guys want to go over, and I can share my opinions. But that's what I've got for today. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.